Maybe the chairs, as I called your name, maybe you can just kind of, identify yourself. We have Dr. Amanda Salinas. Dr. Salinas, are you with us? Dr.
I
Salinas?
am, and I actually was a member of Phi Theta Kappa when I was a student years and years and years ago at SAC. So this is something that I really believe in. It set me up for success at Texas State University, where I joined the Golden Key Honor Society. And I believe that Phi Theta Kappa set me up for that success.
Very, very good. Very good.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I did not realize you were a Phi Theta Kappa.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
Yep, I am.
And you were in London as we speak, right?
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
We also have Dr. John Hernandez, also a chair. John, Dr. John, are you with us?
Glad to be here.
Thank you, John. I think, John, you also attended a two-year college. Is that correct?
Yes, I did. I started at SAC, but I was not a member of Phi Theta Kappa. Although I did spend a semester in London, though. Yeah.
Everybody's journey goes through London, I think, at some point. And then we have Sarah Wilkins, also a chair. Sarah, are you with us?
Yes, hi everybody. I too went to a junior college, a community college. I went to Blinn in Brenham, Texas. And while at Blinn, I was also in PTK. In fact, I was treasurer.
All right.
Yay!
I was an officer. So I enjoyed my time very much in PTK. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you for joining us, Sarah.
And also we have one of our deans, Mr. Patrick Lee. Patrick, are you with us? Mr. Lee, are you with us?
I am here, Dan.
All
How
right.
are you?
Tell us your two-year college story.
Well, I don't have a two-year college story, and I've never been to London, so my journey did not start in London, although I wish it had, and someday I hope to go there. But thank you for inviting me. This is really a great opportunity for everybody, and I appreciate being a part of it. So thank you.
Good, good. And do we have any other faculty members? Do we have? Did I see Tony? Did I see Tony Villanueva here earlier or no? We also have our president, who's going to be introduced a little bit later on. We also have Vice President Catherine Beaumont. Thank you for joining us, Catherine Beaumont. We're giving you, if you want to, if you attended a two-year college, or if you want to say something about your college experience, while we wait for other students to log in, you can certainly do that. Thank you for joining us, Vice President Beaumont.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations to all of our students. It's good to see you again, Dora. I know she joined one of our SGA events, and I'm sure Deanna is on the call as well, but just honored to celebrate with y'all. Thank you to our faculty advisors and Leah, who helped support PTK. So I did not start at a two-year college, but I was given the opportunity in high school to take some college courses at one of our local colleges where I grew up. I had a wonderful experience, learned a little bit about self-discipline and time management early on, and so that served me really well as I began my educational career, and was very fortunate to have a lot of support through the college to continue, because I didn't necessarily have that support at home. So the college environment has always been full of very fond memories for me, and I see every day at PAC the faculty and staff support our amazing students in the same way that I was supported. So I'm grateful to be witness to that, and to also have the opportunity to serve and return. So congratulations again to our students, and I'm thrilled and honored to be here with you this afternoon.
And likewise, we're thrilled and happy to have you with us. And while you didn't start at the two-year college, at the community college, you got here as fast as you could, correct? That's great. That's great. I also started at a two-year college, finished my first 2 years before transferring to the university. It was I really needed that first 2 years to help in the transition to the university. Whenever I told them that I was getting ready to graduate high school and I was telling them that I wanted to go to the university. They kind of looked at my grades and said, you know, you would probably benefit from a 2-year college, and it really, really did make a big difference, you know, for me. I made friends at the 2-year college that I have had that have lasted me a lifetime. So I'm glad I did that. Dr. Reina, I believe you also started as
Yes, I did. I started off at SAC. Yes, and I love that experience. And I stayed there a long time because I really liked it. I still say it's one of all the colleges, universities that I've attended, that's probably one of my favorite ones. I just felt I just had great instructors, great professors, great support at SAC. And I'm always grateful that I went to a college before I went to university, because I think that it just taught me a lot about how to navigate the system. So I'm grateful that I did participate.
Well,
I think
good.
we have, also want to say that we have a biology professor with us, Jessica Human, and I want to just recognize that she's here.
Jessica, are you with us? Jessica, I see you here somewhere. I think I saw you there.
Yeah,
You know, all y'all look so young. I just think y'all are students, you know.
I will take
so
that as a
Dr. Hunan,
compliment.
tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a
Long
little.
time away from being a student, but I'm happy to be here this afternoon.
Okay, well, good. And I think that Leah Badillo is also, you know, came to us via Palo Alto, I think. Leah, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, from graduating from high school in Durrington High School, I transitioned to Palo Alto College and was a Phi Theta Kappa member and president during my time at Palo Alto College, and now I'm here as an advisor. So, great transition.
Very good.
Yes, thank you. Talk about leadership. She really, you know, went from student to Phi Theta Kappa member to Phi Theta Kappa advisor to staff at Palo Alto College to now advisor for Phi Theta Kappa. What a journey.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, I think we need to get started. I think we've kind of cut into the program a little bit. This was totally off script right here, what we just went through. So now what we're going to do is we're gonna maybe go on script, and then we'll get through this program. And what I'd like to do is, of course, start off by welcoming you to the Phi Theta Kappa induction ceremony. We're asking the students maybe for the moment to mute their computers, or at least during the ceremony. And we're asking the families and students to do that. So this semester we're trying to do something new, not because we wanted to, but because of COVID. You know, this meeting or this induction ceremony is being held remotely. And you know, maybe that might be the bad news, but the good news is that about having this remote induction ceremony is that everyone will have a front row seat. So that's good. Okay, so thank you for joining us. We know that you have a tight schedule, especially the students who are preparing for the finals, and we'll try to be respectful of that time. Today we have about maybe 140 members who are being inducted, more or less about 140. So the program will move rather quickly, and we'll try not to keep you too long. So let me introduce the advisors. You'll see them on your screen here. We have Ms. Leah Badillo, who is a senior advisor with the TRIO Upward Bound program, and she works specifically with math and science students. We also have Dr. Yolanda Reina, who's an associate professor and the department lead for Learning Frameworks program. And then, of course, yours truly, Dr. Daniel Rodriguez. I also am a professor professor of Learning Frameworks. So our officers for the academic year 2020-2021 are Samantha Salas. She's on your top right. She is the Vice President for Public Relations. She'll be saying a few words here a little bit later on. We have Rebecca Torres, who's in the bottom left. She is the Vice President of Fellowship. Okay. We have Dora Gonzalez, bottom right. She is the Treasurer. And then we also have Diana Castano, President, on the top left. Other pictures are so good. So thank you for joining us, or thank you to the officers for serving during this academic year 2020, 2021. So I'll turn this over to the president. Okay. Deanna, do you have voice on you?
So she was unable to speak while sharing the screen, and I will be speaking on her behalf.
Okay.
So Diana is the president of Alpha Pi Iota, and her main priorities include preparing and leading meeting agendas, appointing and establishing necessary committees, overseeing chapter projects, providing regular updates to our PTK board, and lastly, developing future goals for our chapter to accomplish. Now on the PowerPoint slide, you can see, of course, an image of her and her pre-nursing major, her academic achievements, which include Honors Poster Scholar, National Poster Scholar, Regional Poster Scholar, National Science Foundation Scholar, and Honors Distinguished Graduate. Other organization affiliations she has are the PAC Student Government Association, Student Activity Fee Advisory Committee, Honors Program, Honors Legacy, Tri Beta Biology Honor Society, Student Leadership Institute, Student District Council, and San Antonio Higher Education Representative Assembly.
Wow. She also has a 4.0 grade point average.
And 3 kids.
3 kids, yeah.
And now I will be speaking about myself. So I am the Vice President of Public Relations. My name is Samantha Salas. As the Vice President of PR, my main priorities include writing and submitting articles on Alamo experience, overseeing and maintaining our social media outlets, preparing and editing all PowerPoint projects, taking pictures at all chapter events, and lastly, sharing significant chapter news with our PTK board. I am currently majoring in psychology. My academic achievements include becoming the keynote speaker for PAC's 2018 GED Christmas Brunch, outstanding scholarship recipient, awarded the SEAMS Success Scholarship, recognized President's part-time and full-time honors. My other organization affiliations include team member of the Alternative Spring Break Trip of 2019, member of PAC's Honors Program, and Honors Legacy Club.
Very good.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Torres. I'm the Vice President of Fellowship, and as Vice President of Fellowship, my main priorities are to aid other officers with their duties, encourage scholarly fellowship at all levels of the society, and lastly, to implement strategies to increase membership involvement. This is my first semester at PAC, so I don't really have any academic achievements, although today I did receive a letter that I got a scholarship. Yay. I also have 4.0 GPA, and my other organization affiliations are the Honors Legacy Club.
Very good. Very good.
Hi, I'm Dora Gonzalez. As the treasurer, my main priorities are to also help my fellow officers with anything they need aid with, to be familiar with school procedures and policies for using chapter funds and how to obtain them properly. And lastly, to maintain financial account for the chapter. My major is business administration. I have a 3.9 GPA, and then other organizations that I'm affiliated with is NSLS, the SGA, Student Advisory Fees Committee, and the Student Leadership Institute.
Very good. Thank you.
Phi Theta Kappa Alpha Pi Iota chapter. So established in 1918, Phi Theta Kappa International Honor Society serves to recognize and encourage the academic achievement of two-year college students and to provide opportunities for individual growth and development through honors, leadership, and service programming. In 1929, the American Association of Community Colleges recognized Phi Theta Kappa as the official honor society for two-year colleges. The mission of Phi Theta Kappa is to recognize academic achievement of college students and to provide opportunities for them to grow as scholars and leaders. So Phi Theta Kappa core values through the chapter of Phi Theta Kappa Iota chapter of Palo Alto College are leadership, service, fellowship, and scholarship. So for leadership, it provides members the opportunity to enhance their leadership skills by becoming an officer, engaging in the campus and community. And for service is giving back to in a range of volunteer and community service opportunities. And for service is fellowship is through membership meetings to effectively continue their personal and professional development. Scholarship, which is a knowledge that you have acquired from your countless hours of study, can be enhanced through financial assistance applications on the Phi Theta Kappa website as you begin the transfer process to a university on your academic journey. Now, Sammy Salas, our Vice President of PR, will be introducing our special guest speaker.
Originally joining the Alamo College's district in 1999, Dr. Garza held several positions during his tenure at Palo Alto College, including Dean of Community Development and Partnerships, Dean of Student Success, and Vice President of Student Success. In 2018, Dr. Garza returned to Palo Alto College to serve as the college's 7th president on July 25, 2018. During his inaugural year as president, he led the college on the journey toward being named a rising star of the 2019 Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence, the nation's signature recognition of high achievement and performance in America's community colleges, and celebrated the achievements of the Alamo College's district and its 5 colleges as a 2018 Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award winner. Dr. Garza holds a bachelor's degree from Texas A&M University, a master's degree in public administration from the University of Texas at San Antonio, and a doctorate in educational administration from the University of Texas at Austin. He is married to Dr. Esther Garza, an associate professor at Texas A&M University San Antonio, and they have 2 wonderful children, Victoria and Robert. I will now be handing over the presentation to Dr. Robert Garza. We are so grateful for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm going to ask you if it's okay if we maybe just go off the PowerPoint real quick so that I could see everybody at the same time. Would that be okay? Just for a minute. Wonderful. Thank you so much. It's easier to talk to everybody at the same time. But thank you for having me for Phi Theta Kappa. This is also an amazing time to really explore opportunities for educational growth here at Palo Alto College and the Alamo colleges. Dr. Rodriguez had mentioned, starting at community college. That's one college that I'm not, that's not on my resume, but I did start at Texas Southmost College, very much similar. Needed to start at a community college to get my understanding of what college was as a, I say, multi-generational college student, because I started college with my father and my grandfather and my 2 sisters at the same time. And so not necessarily that first generation, because I started at the same time as my dad. So I just say multi-generational, since my grandfather also started with us. But it was definitely a wonderful opportunity for me to grow as an individual and to apply myself to get to where I wanted to go. And in fact, what I had to do is really get my goals in order of what I was going to do, because if I wanted to go to A&M in College Station and I applied, I wouldn't meet the criteria because I wouldn't have been accepted. I had to learn how to study. I had to learn how to count on others to help me get along the way. Not only my classmate, but my mentors and my advisors and the faculty that guided me. And so you go back as far as when I started community college in 1991, there are faculty that stood out, like Mr. Brasinio, who was my music instructor and guided and supported me as I was moving forward and gave me a letter of recommendation when I went to apply to A&M. Mr. Dupday, who was the chair of the math department, so Patrick would love this because it was in math, and he gave me a simple formula, and he says, figure this formula out, and he goes, "You're not ready." He said, "You're not ready for college algebra. Let me get you in these other classes." But he says, But if you work hard and you work with me, then I'll get you in this college algebra class and we can work together. And sure enough, I went in there and I worked real hard. And if I had questions, I asked Mr. Dupty, and he was tough because he was the chair, and he helped me. You know, he guided me. He answered my questions. He helped me more than he probably ever realized that he helped me. And that was really beneficial for me, because then when I went to the four-year institution, I found that I wasn't in a pond, but I was really in an ocean of thousands and tens of thousands of students. And going into my first class that had over 350, and there were so many students that people were sitting literally in the stair aisle going down. It was really tough because I was going from no more than 30 students in a class to 300 plus. It was overwhelming. But what I learned some lessons. I always sat in the front of the class. I always asked questions. If I didn't know, I really asked a lot of questions, probably more than my faculty member wanted me to do. But I needed to do it because too often we are told that we can't, we shouldn't, we won't. And I didn't want to believe that anymore. And I wanted to make something of myself. And I had that vision of going to A&M when I went to go visit with my best friend Aron, and it inspired me, and my dad inspired me. My dad started, he actually is a former student at San Antonio College. Most people don't know that, but he was a student at San Antonio College when he was stationed at Fort Sam Houston when he was in the Army. And so, you know, it's kind of like that big opportunity for us moving forward to get our dreams together. Phi Theta Kappa is very important because it provides you not only with a support network, but leadership opportunities, really to get involved and do something and change. And one of the things that, you know, I always ask myself, when it all's said and done, because life is really short, when all's said and done, what are folks going to say about me? When I retire, when I move on to that next chapter of my life, what are folks going to say about me? Did I make a difference? Or 10 years from now, will anybody even remember who I was? Was I just one more person in the city of San Antonio? Was I just one more person at Palo Alto College that people didn't remember me because maybe I didn't feel like, or I didn't make an opportunity to be significant? Well, I will tell you, as students and as leaders, you are significant more than you will ever know. And we need you to continue to be significant, not only at our institution, but within your community, within the state, within the country, within the world. If you watch any television, which I hope you don't watch very much of it nowadays, but if you watch any television, I will tell you that our country is in need of significant people to guide us in the right direction and to help us help each other. At Palo Alto College and throughout my life, I go on one simple piece that I hope, if anything, that you'll take with you, is just simply care about people. It's that simple. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't, you don't have to be rich. You don't have to be poor. You don't have to be anything. All you have to do is be a human being just to care about somebody. And I don't think that's too much to ask of anybody. And so, as you're moving forward in your careers and your education, if you keep that one principle, that one thing is just to care about people, then it will go so much further, and people will begin to care about you, and then they begin to care about others. And caring about people is contagious, just like smiling. When you smile, people smile back. It's just natural. And if you care about people, that is also contagious. And when you care about people, it helps grow. I'll tell you some short stories about Palo Alto. And I've asked this question, and for those of you who have your cameras on, how many of y'all remember Samantha Tapia? How many of y'all have ever heard of Samantha Tapia?
I think a couple. Student.
Yes, a former student.
Student. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so Dr. Rodriguez and Dr. Reina have been here long enough to remember Samantha Tapia. And in fact, I didn't know Samantha Tapia until probably about maybe 2 months ago. And then I was thinking, how did I not know about Samantha Tapia? And let me tell you the story. And it's an emotional story because I can't believe that this student is not known by everybody, because I think everybody should know Samantha Tapia. So once upon a time, Palo Alto College used to be a D3 athletic scholarship program. And so we had cross country, we had basketball, we have those now in extramural sports, but we used to be a D3 NCAA JUCO team. And Samantha Tapia was a student in 1998 at Palo Alto College, 1998. Well, I started at Palo Alto at 1999. So from 1998 to 1999, when I started, I didn't hear about Samantha. And then I'm looking at scholarships and endowments, and I see this name, Samantha Tapia, and it has $0 in the scholarship account. And I asked how long or when was the last time anybody ever donated to that scholarship account, and it had been about maybe 20 years, so about 2 decades. Not one person has contributed to that scholarship account in 20 years. The first year they did, the second year they did, but after the second year, nobody contributed anymore. And so for 22 years, this scholarship has been available for students. For 20 of those 22 years, there's been $0 to give to any students in Samantha Tapia's name. So who is Samantha Tapia? Samantha Tapia was a graduate of Burbank High School who ran cross country with Palo Alto College. And you may or may not know this, but when we were a D3 school, Palo Alto College actually had the #1 cross country team in the country. We were national champions at Palo Alto. And this young lady, who's about 18 years old, decided to continue her education at Palo Alto and compete in cross country, which is amazing. And we had a meet at Palo Alto College, and we were playing or competing against Trinity. And Samantha Tapia, probably her second month as a college student, I believe this was in October, so I think she was in her second month as a first-time freshman. And she collapsed during the race. And her sister was there, and I talked to Suzelle Molina. It was Gratz at the time, and I said, "Oh my gosh, Suzelle's was the coach." And so I talked to her, and she says, "Yeah, she collapsed. Her sister, who was pregnant at the time, rushed to her aid. They airlifted her, but she passed away. She passed away representing our institution 20 years ago, compassion, full of life." And I think to myself, if we care about people, how could we have let Samantha Tapia's name gone unheard or unsaid? Unsaid. And I don't know that people have mentioned her name probably in 20 years. Unsaid. How could that happen? How could that happen? She was one of our own. She was part of the Pack family. She was representing our institution. When she passed away, she was wearing a Palo Alto College jersey. She was representing us. And her name, unfortunately, has disappeared from our tongues. And so we're going to find a way to rectify that. And that's why I talk about caring about people and remembering people and respecting people, because everybody contributes. Now, Samantha Tapia, as a young 18-year-old, probably didn't know what she contributed. 22 years later, she impacted me. She impacted me. She inspired me because I read her story. I read how the faculty and the staff of Palo Alto rallied around her. I read the story where her colleagues from when she was in high school and her other college students put together a 5K to raise money to put a scholarship together so that her name would not be forgotten. Not thinking that endowments is long-term, scholarships are short-term, thinking that her name is going to be remembered. Now, I will tell you that there's probably 10 more faculty and staff members or community members that are also on that list that unfortunately have $0 in those accounts as well, because people forget. People don't remember. We have to find ways to do amazing things to show folks that we are significant, even in the smallest things that we do, particularly when nobody's looking, and letting it be this big deal. And so I will leave you with this. One is care about people. It's so important to care about people. Things seem so big sometimes, but when everything is, you look around, it's the minutia, it's the smallest thing. And don't ever find yourself in a situation where it's like, I really wish I would have said this, or I really wish I would have done that. It's a no regrets, but be significant. That's important. Care about people, be significant by your actions and what you do. Follow that basis of where your corazón, your heart is, and where it's going to get you. I think that those are important. Listen to your mentors and your faculty that have been there, done that. So, you know, it's so interesting is that, you know, I have 2 children and I try to advise and they're like, oh, Dad, you don't know anything. But then I go and I talk to my colleagues or students and they're like, oh my gosh, wow, that's amazing. You know, because when you have your own children, sometimes, you know, you just don't know because you're the parent. And I tell my son and my daughter sometimes, they said, you know, I've talked to tens of thousands of students that I've mentored over the years, and I've got 2 at home that don't sometimes understand the opportunities that are available to them from sacrifices from others. And so that's the other piece too, is just remember those that have been there before you, because there are folks that have worked very hard to open the doors that you're walking through. And so I'm going to close with this, and I'm going to ask Leah and Dr. Rodriguez and Dr. Reina to work with Catherine. In fact, I made a quick call as Dr. Rodriguez was talking about membership. And so we're going to allocate $5,000 for membership for any student who wants to become a Phi Theta Kappa member. We're going to set aside $5,000 that will be available for any student so that we can try to cut out some of those costs for students that are really interested in coming in. And we'll work on the details on the back end, because, you know, our financial aid, so is it considered a gift? Is it impact financial aid and things like that? But Catherine will work with the advisors, but we're going to make a $5,000 commitment as a start, and just let's see where we go. And so just very appreciative of all the work that our advisors are doing. They're doing a great job. Very appreciative of the work that the students are doing, and continue to be that significant person that makes a difference. So with that, I thank you all again for inviting me to join you today, and I appreciate each and every one of you.
Thank you, Dr. Garza. Thank you for that contribution. Thank you for those words. You know, the mantra that many and of course that I live by is the one that goes at what you were talking about, caring. It says people don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. And so that's exactly what you were talking about. Thank you. Let's move on with the program now.
We will now recognize those of you among the student body at Palo Alto College who exemplify the spirit of excellence in learning. We are honored to be of service to you and proud to be counted among you as a member of this venerated society. Administrators, honored guests, and fellow Phi Theta Kappa members, we are pleased to present to you these candidates for membership into our honor society. These students have fulfilled all the requirements for membership and have been selected because they have chosen scholarship, leadership, science, and fellowship as their hallmarks. We commend them for their acceptance into the Alpha Pi Iota chapter of Phi Theta Kappa International Honor Society of 2-year colleges. Officer inductees for the 2020-2021 academic year are Diana Castano, President; Dora Gonzalez, Treasurer; Samantha Salas, Vice President of Public Relations; Rebecca Torres, Vice President of Fellowship. Inductees for Fall 2019, Spring 2020, and Fall 2020 are Crystal Aguilar, Jaden Alcocer, Armando Alvarez Moreno, Luz Alvarez, Alexander Arguello, Desiree Arredondo, Elisette Barrera, Abigail Barrientos, Elena Barthel, Amber Bass, Araceli Beltran, Pete Bernal, Miguel Borges, Desiree Boyer, Serena Brown, Kimberly Burns Dillard, Karen Carrasco, Tanya Carvajal, Giselle Castañeda, Deanna Castano, Isabel Castro Martinez, Samantha Chavez. Chelsea Clifford, Jessica Contreras, Alan Cordova, Cindy Cranston, Oneida Cruz, Melanie Culberson, Jennifer de la Cerda, Marisa Devora, Alicia Doris, Joey Duran, Hector Elizondo, Sandra Escandon, Adolfo España, Mauricio Espinosa, Shelby Fabian, Gloria Farias Rodriguez, Joan Fisher, Cassidy Fitzsimmons, Broderick Flores, Hector Flores, John Flores, John Addison Flores, Alexis Franco.
Sarah
Leah?
Freeman, Alexa Garcia, Anthony Garcia, Destiny Garcia, Valerie Garcia, Michelle Garza, Bada Garza, Maria Gastelum, Stephen Gibbons, Rebecca Gibson, Dora Gonzalez, Carly Gonzalez, Lillian Gonzalez, Ashley Granada, Kristen Guerrero, Francia Guevara Vera, Jess Arba, Alejandra Hernandez, Roxanne Hernandez, Monica Holbrook, Josiah Izadas, Tanner Kelly, Catherine Klemenko, Richard Crindell. Cody Cruz, Anastasia Lebrinko, Jordan Leaja, Fabian Lopez, Genoveva Mares, David Martin, Ida Martinez Vasquez, Kelvin Mayfield, Faith McWalter, Alexia Medina, Brenda Meja, David Merchant Sr., Sarah Michalek, Maria Modja, Edward Mores, Maria Nunez Hernandez, Celestina Ortega, Cassandra Ortiz, Yadaha Ortiz, Trenton Osborne, Jean Price, Noah Rapago, Brianna Ramos.
Okay, and Paula Reed, Lillian Reamer, Matthew Renault, Gabriela Renteria, Angela Riveles Guzman, Julia Reyes, Mariela Reyes, Ariana Rios Coria, Gabriela Rios, Emily Rivera, Norma Robles, Andrea Rodriguez, Erica Rodriguez, Sarah Roman, Aurora Romero, Maria Rosas Sanchez, Mickey Rizak, Hannah Salas, Samantha Salas, Cheyenne Salazar, Serafín Salgado, Guillermo Salinas, Dale Sampson. Marta Sanchez, Alexis Santos, Linda Schooling Burgos, Paula Shanahan, Noel Shearer, Coda Shaw, Weston Seiler, Julia Skariski, Jose Sotelo, Rebecca Torres, Haven Trevino, Anissa Triano, Michael Uribe, Jonathan Valdez, Cassandra Vega, Sharon Vega Cardona, Anna Welfel, and Nicole Zapata.